for these people in front of us here, for their pristine work that they brought to us, for us to understand the way of this SARS-CoV virus. Second, I will be very happy to see you again in Bucharest on the next summit, COVID summit, International COVID Summit. And one of my questions is, what will be next now? What is coming next? We know about the COVID, we know about the SARS. You did, like I said, a pristine work showing us and how it works and how it has been released to the world and so on. What is the next step? Are we fighting against the virus itself or against the people that released it? Or I don't know how to. I hope you understand what I mean. What is the next step?
Yeah, I would like to answer that. You are indeed right. COVID was just, like I said yesterday, a test balloon, and the lessons they learned from this, namely, how did they fail and where did they fail to get the people to just do what they were told to, comply, and they will take this to the next level. So we're talking, of course, about digital ID. It's in preparation. We're already talking about this. The Parliament circumvented itself pretty much by taking with a large majority a vote to not even involve Parliament. It goes directly behind closed doors to negotiate the digital ID. The next thing we will be seeing is, of course, CBCD, the digital state currency. That will be the ultimate blow to depriving us of all of our freedom and privacy. And and of course these 15-minute ghettos that I already talked about yesterday. These are the next steps. And once again, I want to make it clear, we're not talking about some future projects 40, 50 years down the line. We are talking about as in right now that they're working on. And once again, we need the people on our side on this to fight this, to raise awareness and to let their government, especially the national governments, know they will not deal with that and they will not accept this. That's what we need the people for. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, my name is Dr. Byron Bridle. I'm a viral immunologist at a university in Canada. And first, I just want to address the question that was just asked. So, from a scientific perspective, what I can tell you is after this conference, from my experience of the past 2 years, inevitably, everybody who spoke yesterday will be accused of having disseminated misinformation. I want to point out that what I saw yesterday was an awful lot of primary data presented. And when people are accusing us of disseminating misinformation, they never address the primary data that we have presented, nor do they provide primary data to demonstrate that what we have said is incorrect. So in terms of the future, when it comes to science, misinformation is something that we have to be very concerned about. And this, we need the press to help scientists around the world and physicians around the world in this area, because if you aren't aware, there's talks in pretty much every country around the world about the potential to criminalize misinformation. Fine scientists and physicians, fire scientists and physicians if they provide misinformation. This has to be of concern to the media, because you have to start asking yourselves, if that's the case, who are going to be the arbiters of truth if it's not going to be scientists who provide primary data? So that's a key thing you have to watch out for. The other thing is if you are not aware, the mRNA vaccines that were rolled out over the past couple of years, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The same companies are developing mRNA vaccines for other diseases, and you might not be aware there is an enormous number of mRNA vaccines being developed for veterinary use. And that in of itself is also a potential concern to human health. So for example, we know that the mRNA vaccines can get into human breast milk. And therefore we have infants who are consuming undefined doses of these mRNA vaccines. These were never approved for that route of administration, nor to be administered to infants. And yet we now know that is happening. And if it could get into human breast milk, who's to say that they couldn't get into the milk meat, and eggs that we consume. So I'm telling you, based on what I saw yesterday, there needs to be an immediate moratorium on mRNA vaccine technology until the very many legitimate scientific questions that have come up about this technology over the last 2 years can be definitively answered. And I'd just like to end with this. The thing I most appreciated about my experience yesterday was the fact that these MEPs here, these are heroes to me, and you should not only be proud of them here in Europe, but these are political leaders around the world, I can tell you. So the country that I come from does not allow open discussion about the science underpinning COVID-19. But what was allowed yesterday was uncensored, open, and honest discussion of the hard, objective data underpinning COVID-19 policies, and I would like to thank these MEPs for allowing us to do that.
Thank you.